All right. Hello again. My name is Matt Mahoney. Good to see you all. We are here on Security Solutions, and I'm interviewing today Mr. Gerald Hanna of the Gerald Hanna Group, an outstanding leader in the field. Has been around for decades, and he has an amazing book out there. So we're going to talk about that and other things. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about running a business and his expertise. So, Mr. Hanna, introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you. It's a privilege to be on your show today. And yeah, I'm a behavioral psychologist. So that means I help individuals, whatever the outcome they need to obtain behaviorally. We put together what's called a behavioral protocol, and then you practice every day less than 5 minutes to improve your behavior. And then the second part services we do, so we have executive coaching service and talent management. Talent management, and your audience will really be interested in this. Talent management is about how to hire talent in the beginning, get the best talent. How do you keep them? And how do they over time become a part of your organization? A talented individual is not only very good about performance and getting results, but they live the values of your company. They fit into your culture. So we help you get that type of talent.
Right. I would say definitely, finding good people is always important, especially in the security business. And we're talking about we need to be an authority and we are the people that people are responding to. We are responsible for the security and safety of a lot of people. So it's very important we find quality people. So and those methods are definitely interesting in our field.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell me a little more about your group and what you specialize in.
Well, yeah, if you're well, for example, this afternoon, I have a client from in California who is- he's in his mid 30s and he wants to learn about leadership. He wants to grow in that area because he he started his own company and it's beginning to grow a little bit. But he said, I don't know what being a leader is. So we will get together and develop a development plan. It's no different than the athlete, the shortstop who makes $300 million a year does something in a few weeks in spring training that he did in Little League. He's going to be catching ground balls over. And that's what being a outstanding performer in security particularly is that you learn certain behaviors that impact the growth of your company. And so we work individually and we work in team settings as well.
Right. Yeah, I would say leadership is really important, especially again in our field where we're being called to keep people safe. So you need a leader that's going to take care of that, and people need to follow us and respond. Our employees need to follow us, and we need to provide effective leadership so people we can effectively do our job.
Absolutely. Yeah. This might be helpful to your audience. When we're working with a leader, a manager, there are three behaviors that you want to analyze yourself on. One is, hey, I'm pretty good at doing X, but given the strategy, given the competition, given the type of company that I'm about to work for, I need to brush up on a few behaviors to get better. So it's brushing up. And then there's some leadership behaviors that you've never been taught how to use. So there are new behaviors you will learn. And then third, we all have some behaviors that block us from being successful, interfere in our personal life. So we know how to get rid of those behaviors. So then we, sit down. What's the outcome in the next 6 months that you need is very important. And then taking one of those three pillows that I just described, and then assign a behavior. And they're kind of like there are 23 behaviors in the research and company. American Express, for an example, that uses behavioral competencies, and that's what we're talking about.
Hmm.
So somebody might say, well, I'm good at my job. Right. Are you managing people? Yes, I just got promoted. Then you need to learn how to manage people correctly. So let's work on those behaviors. Holding people
What are
accountable.
some of those behaviors you're talking about?
Yeah, holding people accountable for one. How do you hold people accountable? How to be a good listeners. History has shown us that outstanding leaders are first great listeners. They listen first. So we teach you how to listen. Adaptability. The year 26 is nothing but change, change, change. Your strategy, the way you go about doing your work, artificial intelligence. So you need to learn at being adaptable. So that's a behavior that you learn. If you're the head of an organization, then there's certain leadership competencies, behaviors that that you would want to learn. It's 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes a day. It takes 21 sessions or practices to begin forming a habit. And you do it 60 times over several months, maybe, or weeks, then you're forming a habit. So that's what we're here to help you do.
I see. Okay, great. Now, you had told me you had a book, right? I just got it. It's called
Yes. Thank you.
You Before Me. So why don't you tell me about your book that's out?
Well, thank you.
I haven't read it yet, so I'm about to start.
All right. Okay. Well, the book is first a novel about a young CEO at a company that is about to close their doors. They're running out of money. I mean, they're running out of money. So the board of directors hires this Ethan is his name, and to come in. Ethan had never been a CEO. So, but he was very intelligent and had a track record, even in small companies he had worked for, as being a great performer. But he had knew nothing about running a company. So he decides, wait a minute, I had an executive coach one time. I'm going to call him, which happened to be me. So, so,
Nice.
so it begins in chapter three. Finally, in chapter 3, he begins to understand what it means to be a leader. And it's about setting the culture, holding people accountable,
Right.
showing integrity and trust and so forth. So the novel is really fun to read. I mean, and my partner and I, we wrote the novel and it was terrible. We're not good. I'm a dumb psychologist. How can I make a great story? So our
Right.
editor had, fortunately, a young man who was a very good writer. So he helped us write the novel. So in each chapter, we give you the behaviors of the main characters. What are the good behaviors? So you see it, and what are the bad behaviors? And then the other part of the chapter is that we give you homework. We get, you know, you
Really?
you'll have one of these competencies to work on that related to what was going on in the story. We cover 13 competencies that you're going to practice. So the book, and then the appendix is full of management tools and development tools. My wife asked me, "Why are you giving away your practice?" It's really
That's
beside the
business. That's what
novel,
you
it's a
do,
handbook.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the reason is that we're committed to helping people get better at their jobs. And that means the doors stay open. That means there's food on the table for every employee and there's a roof over their family. So that's why, and
It's
that's the
fascinating.
philosophy of our firm. We're not a vendor. I don't get into commit, oh, well, no, that's beyond a vendor. That's beyond, no, we can. No, when we take you on, we're committed to your success. And weekends, you're going to call me for a 20-minute conversation or 30, whatever, because we're in real life. And there are going to be things at night or on the weekends you just want some feedback on. That's why we're here. So
Excellent.
You Before Me, audience will enjoy, again, the novel. If they're Tom Cruise, they like Tom Cruise, they're going to see that's Ethan, Ethan.
Right.
It's an impossible.
From Mission
So
Impossible.
the editor that helped us was a screenwriter for some of Tom Cruise's movies. So
Really
gave
fascinating.
it a little, gave a little flavor to the novel.
Excellent. Well, I tell you, it's very impressive. It says on the back, a novel about how smart leaders overcome foolish behaviors to build amazing organizations. Impressive.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. Not only is it a great read and true story, but it has homework and it's about a program to improve your leadership.
Yes, sir. Right.
Amazing.
You can do it. I
Amazing.
mean, you can do it individually or in your company. You can set up groups of 5 to 7. I've got a client, and that's exactly what they did with the kind of the third level down in the organization. We just set up groups and they read the chapter, do the homework, and discuss it, how they went about doing it and sharing with each other the way they practice. We give you, it's called deliberate practice. We give you a practice schedule to follow.
Great. Great. So that's part of your business is leadership coaching. People come to you to improve their leadership.
Yes, sir. And yeah.
Amazing. That's great. Yeah, I mean, in the security firm, obviously we're always looking for leadership. So if we're looking to get help in that area, your firm would be a great spot to start, or at least a book.
Well, if I may, because I've done a little bit of work I mentioned to you earlier at university security and or their
Sure.
police and security. And one of the things I learned about in working in a security role, there are two kinds of events that can trigger in the brain's called the amygdala gland, which you get excited. And so security, you're under pressure. And under pressure triggers a number of things in the brain. And so one of the things you want to learn to do is called self-awareness. I'm feeling that I'm getting tense. You catch it
Control.
and you can control it. And the other part of being security is the opposite of tightness is friendly, being able to relate to the employees of that company. So having good emotional intelligence, in other words, being able to be a good listener and know how to be friendly, how to express yourself. So learning the emotional intelligence. So as a security guard, you become more than a person who's protecting or, oh, there's the security guard. I better be careful. No, that person becomes, you can talk to him and so forth. So that's one thing, if you're in security, you want to learn how to do well.
Absolutely. Right. You don't want to just be an automaton standing there with no personality, but you still want to be effective and to be able to do the job professionally.
Exactly. Right.
Excellent. Excellent. So tell me, how long you been in business and what are you doing this year to improve the growth?
Okay. Well, we've been in business a little over 14 years. This year, calling 26 magical years is the term I'm using
Yeah,
with my staff, meaning that because of AI, it cannot be ignored. You have to learn
right.
how to use it.
Totally.
And so, one of the ways why it's magical for us. We have to do it. We do a lot of when we take you on individual, we do a lot of research about your industry. What does an outstanding performer look like in that industry?
Hmm.
So AI, we are already experimenting, is saving us hours of research. And so I was doing some work yesterday and I wanted AI to cite the resources that it was gathering from. So that way I know what's been written comes from a certain source and I can check on it.
It is amazing. I mean, you put it in and the AI spits it out within 2 minutes
Right.
or
Yeah.
less, right? The data
Yeah.
is incredible, quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Your audience might be interested in this. I work with lawyers and this law firm, and one of the things they're having to really tease out is having AI, you give AI the circumstances and what would you do as an attorney? And so it's like, no, it has to build, so what comes back they don't use. But they've noticed they keep asking its questions, right? And they're learning that does save them some time on the research and law books, but not asking AI, how do I, what position should I take on this case or whatever, because it doesn't know. It doesn't have
Right.
enough data. in its intelligence to do that.
It only knows what you tell
That's
it,
why you
right?
want to, yeah, you want to experiment with. Don't get frustrated the first time or second time that what comes back is not usable. You have to learn how to ask the right questions and being very specific. So it's a magical year for us, and we're using we see tremendous growth and opportunity. Small and middle sized companies are realizing, wait a minute, how do we hire talent? We need talent because I tell you, the organization that has the best talent, they're the winners.
Right.
So we're getting a lot of,
Right.
and I'm
Because
so
they're the
glad the
best performers.
middle side small companies are doing that. So we teach you how to do an interview. You learn a behavioral event interview. 85% of the time, you're going to pick the right person. Normal interviewing, 35 to 40%. So we can double the chances of you hiring the right person. So we have a whole methodology that one can learn and use, and the results are there. And this goes back, Dr. McClellan at Harvard. I mean, he was showing us this back in the 80s. And American Express is one company that uses that type of helping you select the best talent.
What do you think
Yeah,
is your
well,
biggest challenge this year in expanding your business?
great
I mean, how
question.
do you advertise? Do you market? What's your best method?
LinkedIn, basically, our clients are word of mouth, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're having our website redone only because it's been around for almost 15 years and
Right.
needs new plugs, as they call it. It needs to be upgraded. But almost 90% of our clients are referred to us by word of mouth and from their experience. And LinkedIn, trying to I have a newsletter called The Light. So that goes out to people and they say, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to follow up on something.
Uh-huh. Good, good. Yeah, so I mean, marketing is important in every business, right? Just like yours. And in a security firm, we're always looking for new clients. So I like to ask people what they're doing so we can maybe do the same thing in the security field because marketing is kind of universal, right? Especially with today with the computerized everything and AI, you can use AI just to market.
Right,
It's
right,
amazing.
right. Well, one thing your audience may want, what differentiates your security firm from others? And one might be, hey, look, we've created a learning culture. Our employees are learning not just how to do the job, but they're learning how to work and relate to people. And so we give our employees an opportunity to professionally grow. So that may be different. You want to find a way to separate yourself from others.
Right. Yeah, that's key in every business, right? You want to specialize and make people come to you rather than your competition.
Right, exactly. And one of the things that it may be you're going to see in 26, there are going to be companies who are going to be merging with other companies. We're going to see a lot of mergers this year.
Really?
So again, of course, that helps us because it's like, wait a minute, we got two CFOs. We don't need two CFOs. Which one should we take? So they call us to come in and help do the behavioral assessment and so forth. But yeah, I would really encourage, and it didn't have to be us, but I would encourage your audience to really take professional growth seriously. I mean, it's amazing how your culture gets better. And once your culture gets better, then people know how to perform. They know they're in a safe environment. We use the term, you want feedback. Feedback is a gift. If I'm doing something wrong, please tell me. It's a gift because once I correct it, it's not going to happen again. So you want to learn how to give feedback. There's an important process of giving good feedback to people, and not just when they're doing something wrong, but when you want to do it more when they're doing it right. So it's
Mhm.
being able, like one client I have, they're in a big market in the insurance business, but one of the things they have their reputation. You go work for them, you're going to get professional development. You're going to get a chance to grow. You're going to get a chance to become a supervisor or a manager. And I mean, they have a whole history of that internally promotions. Well, it's not on, oh, he or she's a nice guy. No, they have been working for the last year and a half on certain behaviors to help them perform better and as in a team or leading a department.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, Gerald, thank you so much. It was a wonderful having you on. Tell our audience where we can find you and tell them where we can find your book.
Well, let me give you, since our webpage is being, let me
Sure.
give you this. This is about the book, and then you can actually, you can, I think it's the first chapter you can read. So it's you, before me. So it's YOUBEFOREBOOK.com. Book. You before me book.com. Go there
Got you.
and
I have
look,
one right
look at
here.
it.
You
Yeah.
before me.
Well, thank you.
Amazing.
And
All right, sir.
and
Thank you so much.
and you know, if be happy if I won't charge them, but if there's any way I can answer a question, just have email would be best. Gerald Gerald at Gerald Hanna GeraldJNNAH.com, and I'll be
Excellent.
happy to answer any question they may have.
You
Well,
got it.
Matt, really thank you so much for this opportunity, and
I
hope
think it's been great.
future.
Your insights on leadership are amazing, and I love to share it with our audience. All right. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Thanks so much, and we'll see you all soon. Take care.
Thank you.